And now it is my great pleasure to introduce Mayor Kevin Faulconer. Mayor Faulconer leads the City of San Diego under his platform of One San Diego, an inclusive city government that creates opportunities and improves the lives of all residents across neighborhoods. Mayor Faulconer has bolstered public safety, expanded services like parks and libraries across the city, and tripled the miles of roads repaired annually to meet his aggressive goal of fixing 1,000 miles of streets over 5 years. He has prioritized new funding and programs to reduce homelessness, making San Diego more affordable, growing San Diego's innovative and binational economy, and creating good-paying jobs for San Diegans. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Faulconer.
Good morning. Good morning. That's what I thought. It's great to see all of you here today on a Monday morning, and I'm really glad I had the opportunity to hear some of the other remarks about how important this cross collaboration is here in San Diego and Tijuana and Northern Baja. That's a strength. That's a competitive advantage, and it is as mayor, it is something that I do not ever take for granted. And so, President Delatorre, thank you for hosting and putting together this conference on an issue that you have just heard and you will hear later this afternoon, how critically important it is to both sides of the border. But I will tell you, as somebody who's spent some time working on this, particularly over the last several years, I have never seen more momentum on this topic than we've had over the last probably 6 months. And the next several months, I think, are going to be some of the most critical as we work together to solve this cross-border sewage issue, and we can. We can and we will. Because of the efforts of all of you here in this room, and because of the efforts of many of my friends here on the stage and other places that understand this is not just a local issue, a national issue, it is a true international issue that we can solve. So President Delatorre, again, thank you for helping to really put this issue at the forefront, and all of you here at this conference. When I speak of the relationship that we have between San Diego and Tijuana, I don't talk about it in terms as two cities. I talk about it in terms of one region and the strength of when we work together. Our friends, our neighbors, our families. We breathe the same air. We share the same watersheds. We share the absolute goal of protecting our environment. And if we don't tell our story of success about how we do that, nobody's going to tell that story of success for us. That's why conferences like this are so incredibly important, as we send that message not only here, as I said, locally, but to Washington, D.C. and Mexico City. And we do that, as I said before, and to see the momentum on this issue because of so many of you who are here this morning, we have everybody's attention. We are on the cusp of getting the funding that we need on both sides of the border that are going to make a significant difference. And so as we continue to bring people together, that's how we solve problems. Earlier this month, I just hosted our 8th annual Mexico Border Mayors Summit, and that was designed to bring mayors on both sides of the border to do exactly what we're doing today, to have that dialogue, and to have 22 mayors that we had over our border region, again on both sides of the border, again speaking with one voice. This is not about Democrat, Republican, Independent. It's about what's the right thing that we should be doing on both sides of the border. And to have the mayors united on this issue was incredibly important. We signed 2 resolutions. One was urging the passage of the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Trade Agreement, USMCA, to continue that cross-border relationship. And the second one that we signed was to reauthorize the North American Development Bank, the NAD Bank, to invest much more in border infrastructure, border water projects. And I think the two are absolutely linked together. There's a lot of discussions just this weekend in Washington, D.C., of getting the USMCA across the finish line. We can do that. We have to do it. Again, we are the region that knows how to work together with our supply chains, our manufacturing, medical devices. We show the rest of the world how our two regions work. And with USMCA and with the NADBANK funding, we can show the rest of the world how we protect our environment. And you're going to hear from a lot of local leaders today. I understand Congressman Vargas is coming. I also want to thank my colleagues, particularly who've been working closely with me on this, Supervisor Cox, Imperial Beach Mayor Serge Dedina, Mayor Richard Bailey, and many others. We are pushing to continue this momentum, to have both the U.S. EPA and the Mexican government. The EPA just finalized a study, which you may have seen, that shows the projects that we need to create. We support that list. And now we're going to support the funding to get these projects going. As you may have just heard, as the Council General just said, and Mr. Council General, good to see you again, my friend. The Mexican government just signed a very important MOU with SELA, the organization that can help steward projects like this between the U.S. and Mexico. That was just signed a couple of months ago. And the Mexican Secretary of Foreign Affairs committed to fixing the pumps in Tijuana that have been long overdue for repair. This is the type of infrastructure, this is the type of investment, this is, as I mentioned before, with the NADBANK, doing projects that we can do on our side of the border as well, are what's going to get this issue solved. And I'll conclude with this. Again, why this conference is so important. It's because we have to speak with one voice to continue that. So we talk to our federal leaders, both in Mexico City and in Washington, D.C., that we have the solutions, we have the community support, we have the environmental support, and we have the political will to get this across the finish line. So that's why I'm glad to see so many committed stakeholders, all of you who are here today. We can solve this critical issue. We are on the cusp of doing it. It's going to take all of us to work together. And when we look back on this, I predict 1 year from now, we will be able to say that we were the region that led one of the most driving, important environmental infrastructure projects in North America. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for your strong support. And President De La Torre, again, thank you for your leadership on this cross-border issue. We have a lot to do. We have a lot to work together. But we do it because we are friends and neighbors, and that's how we solve problems. Thank you, and good morning. Have a great conference.